Speaking of FX, no Australian dollar yen, Kame from the Kame Group is sending it to you. I'm doing a blog Twitter note, so please take a look. Today, Monday, Mr. Kuro, who is in charge of Black Company work, is doing the main work. We are also looking for sponsors. If there is something you want to put on the screen of this slide, please DM me on Twitter. In addition to this YouTube distribution, we also broadcast radio every day. My FX story is about work and life. I would be happy if you could do it in your spare time. Since it is pasted in the summary column, click there. I think the voice will flow. From now on, I will talk about things like strategy, but what is more important than that is the ability to take action. For example, it is impossible to win 100 battles. So I think the strongest and best trader is to survive in the market by cutting losses firmly and winning in total even if losses continue. Turtle Hermit Radio, Monday, August 15, 2022. AUDJPY Day Trading Forecasts and Strategies. The most important thing is to send you the power to take action. This is Kame. Well, August 15th is supposed to be the anniversary of the end of the war, but how are you all doing? I am 21 years from now, since I started FX. I have been trading the Australian dollar yen since the beginning, and of course I have been watching the flow of the chart all the time until today. So I am a self-proclaimed expert on the Australian dollar yen. This YouTube distribution has been distributed every day for 3 years, so I hope you can use it as a reference for your trading. I would be very happy if you could subscribe to my channel. And then, I am really grateful to those who give high ratings every day. And the person who likes my daily comment section on YouTube. Is it really? I realize that I am being supported. Thank you very much. Well, it's a recent market, but will it go down? Despite this, the Australian dollar yen is expected to rise particularly strongly. It doesn't fall easily on a weekly and monthly basis. While ranging in the high price range, it is currently in the form of aiming for the top. These days, I think speculators, including individualization, are short. Everyone is doing this short, and it's going up on the contrary. This is where I feel. Well, the dollar-yen adjustment is declining, and the pound and euro seem to have a slightly higher topside than the yen, but the currencies of Australia, New Zealand, and Oceania in particular are rising. I wonder if this will go up as it is. There is such a feeling, so I don't think too much. This is a strong yen, and there is an August anomaly. And it's better to say that if you think it's going to go up, the public thinks so. If you think so, this is actually the end. Since it can be said that it will go down. I think that FX is really a demon of heaven. For the general public, for the time being, myself included, speculators, once they have a position, will eventually have to close their position in the short term. What do you mean? Yes, if you go short, you will end up going up by buying back. If this means don't go up, it means to buy and sell in the short term, so it will go down. Due to this position bias, the market price will go up and down. And now it is the wind called range market in the high price range. Unexpectedly, I also think that the range in this high price range will continue. In this way, we are thinking about the outlook for August and next month around September. Of course, in terms of fundamentals, what is the US CPI Consumer Price Index? What is the inflation situation? Will it calm down? And will the Fed's interest rate become 0.50 or 0.75? Well, this is September. And once things calm down, the market will pay attention to moves to loosen interest rates again. Now, the New York Dow includes the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. Going up, I thought it would fall quite a bit, but it is rising slightly above the moving average line, but it may be a bull trap. And it is rising even though the confrontation with inflation has not ended yet. This is really funny. I wonder what about. The question that says is always thinking. Even while doing so, there is also a pattern of going up in the end, so I think the market is really difficult. That difficulty is what makes it fun in a way, but since it's a Monday starting in mid-August, I'd like to proceed with today's stream. As a basic trading policy, since it is the beginning of the week, we will wait and see whether the trend will come out or whether it will be in a range. After the middle stage, I feel like I'm going to read it. Thank you very much for today's delivery. Disclaimer: reference material for self-judgment, life and investment or self-responsibility. Please. As a way to use this site, beginners can use mirror trading and reverse mirror trading. Or, while using it as a no position, eventually you have to acquire your own discretionary trading power. I hope this will help you to improve your method. I think it can be used for chart analysis in the past date and time and analysis of individual and mass psychology. I would like to talk about last weekend's New York Dow, crude oil and gold prices. The New York Dow has been bought on receding inflation concerns. It ends at plus $424. Also, the 10-year U.S. Treasury yield fell slightly to close at 2.848%. Crude oil prices saw some profit-taking selling ahead of the weekend, as well as a sell-off on U.S. pipeline restoration. It closed at around $92 per barrel. Gold is positive bought on lower U.S. long-term interest rates. In the exchange rate, the dollar-yen enters New York from 133.45. It fluctuated wildly around 80, but gradually loosened and settled down around 133.50. EUR/USD softened from around 1.02 to around 1.0239. That's what it feels like. I would like to review the daily chart of the Australian dollar-yen every Friday. The chart on the right is daily. The price range is 0.558 from open 94.544 to close 95.102. From the high price of 95.152, the bottom price is 94.387 and the maximum width is 0.765, and the daily chart is a positive line. Flow and analysis so far. Last weekend's action rose at 11 o'clock Tokyo time, ending the afternoon with a high. European time adjusted down until 1900, but rose again from 2000. The price rose in the first half of New York time, reached a high in European time, and reached 95 yen from around 1 o'clock in the middle of the night. And finished with high price update. We believe that this movement will soon lead to a correction. We believe the rise was driven by speculative short bias. Indicator of the day. If we talk about 3 or more indicators on a 5-level scale from 1 to 5, Japan's GDP at 850, China's Industrial Production Index at 11 o'clock, China's retail sales at 11 o'clock. China's retail sales at 11 o'clock since the beginning of the year, Japanese mining and manufacturing production, 1330. It's night. The New York Fed's manufacturing index is 2130. From here I would like to enter the chart analysis. I use Ichimoku Kinko Hyo and moving averages for analysis. I would like to begin by talking about clouds. Monthly, I was falling below the clouds. However, it rises with a long lower beard. It has ranged around the upper limit of the cloud and has surged above 10 yen. We are currently aiming for a high price update. MACD is in positive territory and stochastic is 80. Weekly chart. The range was supported by clouds. However, a series of positive lines with a wide price range are soaring vertically. It is in the form of a range in the high price range and a high price update. MACD is in negative territory. The stochastic is at grass 70. From a swinging medium to long-term perspective, looking at the weekly chart, the upper price is in the shape of a parallel triangular flag, so it seems that the price will be updated further. Well, I think the range will continue even if it doesn't. Next, when looking at the monthly chart, the point is whether or not it will reach 95.50 or higher. And although we are considering renewing the high price, the top price is likely to be heavy for the time being. This month's opening is around 92.40, but if it becomes negative this month, the upper price will be quite heavy, but from the current shape, the positive line is strong. Daily chart. Range supported over clouds. MACD is in positive territory. Stochastic is at 80. 8-hour chart. In the range centering on the clouds. MACD is in positive territory. The stochastic is above 80. 4-hour chart. From the bottom of the cloud to the top of the cloud, an upward trend. MACD is in positive territory. The stochastic is above 80. This is a 1-hour chart. An uptrend supported by clouds. It's solid. MACD is in positive territory. The stochastic is above 80. Next, let's look at the Australian dollar-yen with the moving average line. 15 minutes to 4 hours. Both continue to trend upward. Next is the 8-hour time frame to the monthly time frame. The 8-hour and daily charts are above the short-term line, and the weekly charts are also on an upward trend. The monthly chart is still on the rise. Today's resistance values are 95.25, 95.50, 95.75. Today's support values are 94.75, 94.50, 94.25, 94.00. Today's memorable range. 94.75 to 95.25 for small movements, 94.50 to 95.50 for medium movements, and 94.00 to 95.75 for large movements. As far as today is concerned, the expected pattern around the New York time close is that if it rises, it will close around 95.25 and close around 95.50, and close around 95.75. The range closes around 95.00. If down, close around 94.75, close around 94.50, close near 94.00. Regarding taking a position, I intend to buy a buy position up to around 94.40 and withdraw below 94.30. In the case of sell until 95.50 and withdraw when it exceeds 95.60. Next, let's look at currencies other than the Australian dollar yen. The question is whether the dollar yen surges, plummets, and tries the top. However, it is limited to the long-term line. The euro yen is falling, so the dollar is strong in the euro dollar. If you look at the Australian dollar straight, the Australian dollar is stronger than the US dollar, the euro, the pound. Therefore, the predictions before the opening on Monday morning are indicated in terms of range, rise, and fall. I expect the daily chart to be a positive line. However, predictions are only predictions, so next story. Strategies and foundations today. Basic policy buy. I want to pick up where I fell. However, if there is a strong or long shadow line, I think we should take a wait and see approach to buying. Today is also Monday, and if speculative shorts are likely to continue, I think it will still rise to around 95.50. Therefore, if it is as expected, it is necessary to secure a profit for the buying position up to around 95.50. If you're out, wait and see. As things to keep in mind, we should keep an eye on movements in the dollar, yen, cross yen, crude oil, and US stocks. By the way, on the 15th of August, we can say that August is a turning point. Therefore, regarding the dollar yen, there was also a decline so far. But buy dollars again. There is also a rise in the actual demand source, and for the time being, there are times when I say that various things are being tested, and that there was still buying and selling. There is still a good chance that the yen will turn around until the 20th or 25th this week. Well, as for the dollar yen, it means that it will continue to rise and fall. And will the movement of US stocks and the cross yen go up and down due to such movements? However, the recent trend is that the Australian dollar is still being bought, so basically, when the US dollar is bought and rises, the Australian dollar and yen are also likely to rise. It will happen, but whether it will happen or not really needs to be considered while looking at the chart and comparing it. And if there was a change in the market when I lost 2 or 3 times in a row, I would say that my market sentiment was a little different, so I would close my position and change the theme of the market. It is necessary to thoroughly pursue whether or not well. Instead of simply saying that the market does not hit, if you do not have the attitude of finding out how the market is changing, you will not be able to ride the new market at any time. In that sense, if you lose twice or 3 times, for example, you know that the market is changing, and it does not mean that you have wasted money. I took a shortcut to catch a wave. I want to think about it with positive thinking. If the same program continues to work, such as in system trading, it will not last forever, so I think it may be necessary to periodically review it. Since the market is basically a living thing, it is necessary to adjust the market view in both discretionary trading and system trading. That's what I mean. Well, it's still mid-August, and today starts on Monday. Then, plus alpha is the strongest for work. In addition, Kame sent it based on the theme of the time when I graduated to work. Have a nice day, see you.